Hello and welcome to the Online Efiko podcast. My name is Omagbishe Barrow and I am the Online Efiko. Today I would like to talk about something really special, about a better way to do a 360-degree review. Our experience working with many organizations and interfacing with human resources leaders in Nigeria suggests that whereas most organizations clearly appreciate and desire their leaders and managers to get feedback on their leadership capabilities and or their alignment with the organization's values, few organizations actually carry out any formal leadership reviews. The handful of organizations that do have big reservations and concerns about the efficacy and the process and the results or the impact, if any, that they achieve with these reviews. When we come back on the Online Efiko, we are going to explore some of our new research in the area of 360-degree reviews. When 360-degree evaluations became popular in the first few years of the 21st century, human resources and organizational leaders had great hopes that the wisdom of the crowd will provide valuable insights to measure the leadership capabilities of managers and put some science into the leadership of organizations. Less than a decade later, 360-degree evaluations are significantly less popular. Our research shows that there are a number of contributing factors, including how the results are used, how evaluators are selected, the culture of the organizations, and most importantly, the way the evaluations were carried out and the intention behind them. We believe that if some of these fundamental issues are addressed, we can develop and implement better 360-degree reviews that will support the much needed development of leaders and managers in our organizations. So what are some of the shortcomings of the traditional approach? Our recent survey of over 100 human resources and organizational leaders in Nigeria gave us some valuable insights into some of the shortcomings of the traditional approaches to 360-degree evaluations and appraisals. Our research shows that HR and organizational leaders strongly agree that 360-degree reviews should not be used as a tool for compensation and promotion decisions. In organizations where the 360-degree scores were aggregated with performance scores, most line managers, including those whose poor leadership skills are quite well known and documented, ended up with very high 360-degree scores. This clearly indicates that employees felt under pressure to be polite to their line managers, considering the consequences that more realistic and truthful scores may have for their managers. And, very importantly, that the culture of open and honest conversations have certainly not taken a firm root in most organizations in Nigeria. One of the core principles of effective feedback is that feedback should be balanced. Over the years, my colleagues and I at Learning Impact have used models like the BOOST framework and the POINT tool to coach managers to give better feedback. These tools that make a world of difference require that feedback is balanced, that it combines the strengths and the weaknesses of the person who is receiving the feedback. Unfortunately, again, the traditional approach to 360-degree reviews do not give evaluators an opportunity to be balanced, since they focus on mostly numbers with an unstructured comment section that is hardly ever completed. then you really cannot give balanced feedback to the managers and the leaders who are being evaluated. The prompt to give comments without any further structure often leads most reviewers to focus only on the negative and hardly ever the positive, which in essence does not make for good, balanced feedback. Again, based on our research, our survey respondents agree overwhelmingly that if 360-degree reviews provided an opportunity for more balanced feedback, then they will be more effective and useful. One thing that our respondents clearly agreed with is that descriptive feedback is better than numeric evaluations. They all agree that leaders need more feedback, and that in fact, much more than just getting the scores that most evaluators focus on, leaders really need qualitative feedback. Most of our respondents, 99% of them, agree that when 360-degree tools ask for numeric evaluations, the evaluators tend to focus more on these scores than on the comment section, where they can really provide more detailed qualitative feedback. The comment section is mostly ignored, and because it doesn't have a structured way of teasing the feedback that you really want, you end up with many responses like, for example, no comments. This also happens because evaluators have not been properly engaged before these 360-degree reviews, and there is certainly not sufficient buy-in and capacity around what is expected, why it should be done properly, and the impact of doing it properly on the success of the organization. In addition, where a culture of honest and open feedback has not been established, or at least being pursued, it is easier to just hide behind the polite numbers and move on, remarked one of our respondents from the highly competitive insurance industry in Nigeria. The respondents to our survey also agree that descriptive feedback is more efficacious than numeric ratings, and that the numeric ratings are themselves largely subjective, especially when sufficient investment has not been made in preparing evaluators, and when the 360 review is then used for promotion and salary decisions, it makes things even worse. Most survey respondents agreed that they will prefer 360-degree reviews that requested for balanced and structured descriptive feedback than numeric assessments. When faced with the possibility of having a 360-degree review that combined the elements of being balanced with focusing on descriptive and more structured feedback, all of our respondents, 100%, were in agreement. The possibility of having a 360 review that focuses on giving managers descriptive feedback about what they should stop doing, the new things they should start doing, and the things that they've been doing before that they should continue, will certainly meet the expectations of giving feedback that is balanced, descriptive, and structured. 98% of our survey respondents agreed that such a structured 360-degree review will add value and provide the type of feedback that managers really need to develop and make progress. One possible limitation of using such a fully descriptive 360-degree review is that it may not make the process of identifying developmental needs easy compared to a numeric tool that will show the areas where the manager scored the least and use this as a basis for creating individual development plans, IDPs, for each manager. For example, in 2012, using the numeric evaluations from Stanbic IBTC's 360-degree reviews, Learning Impact Nigeria created IDPs for their managers, We put the managers into learning clusters and implemented focused learning interventions based on their identified needs in accordance with the numeric ratings. So clearly, using numeric ratings makes it easier to create these individualized development plans. However, we believe that the descriptive feedback can also be used to drive similar initiatives, perhaps just structured in a different way, which we would explore shortly when we talk about how to use the feedback from the traffic lights. So let's introduce to you what our unique solution is. Traffic Lights 360 is the culmination of our research and efforts over the last 2 years to offer our clients and indeed the entire marketplace an opportunity to implement 360-degree reviews that are balanced, descriptive, and structured to their managers and their leaders. The 360 reviews, traffic lights, incorporates all the elements that we have discussed. And like other 360-degree reviews, it requires reviewers to be assigned and mapped to managers reflecting their 360-degree ecosystem, consisting of their supervisors or matrix managers, if applicable, their direct reports, their colleagues, and of course, the managers themselves. Our solution can be customized to capture specific values or leadership descriptors, but the default solution that we provide is based on our own proprietary leadership model that focuses on 4 core leadership capabilities: leading self, leading others, leading results, and leading transformation, which any organization can adopt. The solution provides a customized interface with email notifications and a dashboard for reviewers to track the reviews that they have been assigned. The reports can also be customized with language and nuances that reflect the context of your organization. One of the other issues raised from our research is the potential to attempt to rig the evaluations in typical 360 reviews by giving managers the discretion or the choice to select their own evaluators, especially from among the pool of their peers, their colleagues, employees who work at a similar level with them, perhaps in other units and departments. This leads to specific people being selected to evaluate a huge number of managers because such people are likely to give them high scores. It may even lead to collision among managers to just jerk up scores for each other. The Traffic Lights 360 solution is different. We believe that the Human Resources Department should take responsibility based on their understanding of the interdepartmental dependencies and the working relationships across teams to assign colleagues rather than to leave that choice to the managers themselves, with the potential dire consequences that we have just observed and I have explained. On a lighter but certainly very strategic note, one of the survey respondents, the human resources manager of a school, remarked that the timing of the traffic lights review was very important. According to him, you shouldn't do it just before the long summer vacation. The feedback may get lost in all the partying and relaxation of the holidays. It is best, according to him, to deploy it sometime in the middle of the school year when the behaviors are live and when the improvements from the feedback can be immediately implemented to achieve results. It's very important to prepare organizations for the traffic lights and to use the traffic lights properly. We believe that the Traffic Lights 360 is certainly not a silver bullet that will guarantee that the 360 reviews achieves everything that we want. It must be implemented within a certain organizational context, one that truly is desirous of building its leaders, one that is focused on creating a culture of open and honest conversations, and one that wants to really empower managers through feedback. To create this organizational context, it's very important that we do a number of things. We recommend to our clients that they invest in pre-review trainings for all the employees that will constitute the pool of reviewers. This training should explain the importance of the 360 reviews, explain the traffic lights, start, stop, and continue, and the importance of giving open and honest feedback that is balanced and structured. Employees should be encouraged to avoid statements like no comments and should be educated about the values statements or leadership parameters that will be the basis of the feedback that they will give and receive. Such training should also explain what it is to stop something, what it means to continue something, and what it means to start something, and help participants and evaluators to walk through the interface so that they know what to expect. In addition, we also believe that managers should receive some briefing about how to read and interpret the reports and how to use the outcomes from the reviews to improve their leadership behaviors and results through conversations with their line managers and team members. Using the reports and the feedback from the traffic lights is also something that is important to speak about. The reports from the Traffic Lights 360 preserves the anonymity of reviewers. The report creates only 2 buckets of feedback, one from self and then from the rest. This is important because it allows the leader to compare the descriptive feedback that they gave themselves to the feedback from everyone else. This is a powerful exercise in self-awareness. The feedback from the traffic lights can also be used to create individual development plans for managers. The difference is that it will require the managers to have a coaching conversation with their line managers to actually discuss the reports. Now, this is very important and is often skipped when numeric ratings are used because the HR team is able to quickly gather the numeric ratings, identify areas for development, and create IDPs and interventions with or without a conversation with a manager or a conversation between the manager and his supervisor. Apparently, what seemed earlier on like a disadvantage, not being able to create IDPs very quickly, has certainly turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Now, with the traffic lights, managers can only decide what interventions their direct reports need after the traffic light report has been discussed with them. Through the discussions, they will arrive at a consensus around specific coaching, training, job rotation, mentoring, or other interventions that will support the leader's development. Because the traffic lights review is descriptive, it encourages more conversations that will hopefully be open and honest, and that reinforces the importance and the primacy of feedback that deepens the leadership capabilities of managers and fosters a better and more mature organizational culture. Is there a future for feedback? Well, in the words of American leadership author and trainer John C. Maxwell, everything rises and falls on leadership. In our experience and the research we have done in Learning Impact, we would like to also say that leadership rises and falls on feedback. Feedback is perhaps the most potent tool for leadership development. Organizations should not shy away from opportunities to give their leaders open and honest feedback. They should embrace such opportunities, and using a solution like the Traffic Lights 360 allows organizations to give feedback that is descriptive, anonymous, structured, and very importantly, balanced. We believe that by thinking deeply about how to deploy this tool and create the right cultural context for it, organizations like yours will inch closer to creating the right culture. My colleagues and I at Learning Impact are grateful that our work and research has helped to revive the dying practice of 360 degree reviews and give managers and organizations the 360-degree feedback that they need to drive the right behaviors and results in their organizations. It was certainly a long and very interesting episode of the Online Efiko podcast today. It's really because we needed to share something that we are very excited about. Please, if you want to learn more about the 360-degree reviews that has been the subject of our discussions today, as well as the specific solution that we are offering, the Traffic Lights 360, please feel free to get in touch with my colleagues at Learning Impact Nigeria on 234-805-195-3276. You can reach us also at info@learningimpactmodel.com. Until next week, when we come back, I am your online Efiko. See you soon.